Jim Valvano, known to many as Jimmy V, was one of the most inspirational guys for me. He was a college basketball coach who helped North Carolina State win a national championship in 1983 by upsetting a heavily favored Houston Cougars team that included both Akeem Olajuwon and Clyde the Glide Drexler. His accomplishments on the court, though, to me, are rightfully overshadowed by his passion for life and the ability to motivate others. Jimmy V's life was cut too short by cancer at the age of 47, but both prior to and ever since his death in 1993, he's been a huge positive influence to so many, and I'd venture to guess most of you have at least heard portions of his most famous speech at the ESPYs just a couple months before his death, where he encourages us all to
don't give up, don't ever give up. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Every minute that I have left, I will thank God for the day and the moment I have, and if you see me, smile and maybe give me a hug.
This video isn't all about Jimmy V though, so stick with me. About 5 years ago, a friend of ours wowed me when he broke out an old, grainy VCR video from the 80s that looks like it might have been shot on a home video camera. It was from a private event for a company he worked for back then that had just brought Jim Valvano in to be their keynote speaker. And as I've thought about it several times after viewing, I bet this video has rarely seen the light of day. Save for the folks who were in the room then, and the few hundred, maybe a couple thousand that he showed to over the years, I count myself pretty lucky for having the privilege to have viewed it at all, much less more than once. It's not all that long of a speech, but from it, I still have several pages of notes. I set the stage with that story because there's a line on that tape from Jimmy V's speech that day that has stuck with me for a really long time. In it, he asked a simple question that honestly, I had never really thought about before. And he asks, have you ever thought about the concept of happy hour? Why do we have to set aside a whole hour a day just to be happy? Maybe we should work on being happy all day. Welcome to Season 2 of I Have No Idea What I'm Doing. I'm your host, Christian. What makes this Season 2? I have no idea. It just felt like now was a good time as any to make some random declaration. I mean, real podcasters do it, maybe we should too. If you've known me for a while, you likely know that I don't come by optimism naturally. It isn't intentional, and I don't love having a cup half empty view of the world, and so in recognizing that each day I have to make conscious decisions about what my attitude is going to be. And I also want to preface this with the recognition that as a modern world, we tend to focus on happiness and being happy quite a bit, whereas I believe if we can focus on contentment and finding joy, happiness ends up being a byproduct of those. But for the sake of brevity today, we'll just use happiness in general terms. Am I out of line thinking that you want to be happy? In the latest study produced by the UN of the happiest nations in the world, the US ranked 13th. And just the fact that we do global happiness studies alone shows that we are interested, as societies, in finding happiness. Did you know that you have the ability to force happiness on yourself? In one simple, free, 10-second task, you can literally change your body chemical makeup and trick your brain into a better mood. Smile. Believe it or not, tons of money and research has been put into studies on smiling and its effect over the last century. Smiling, even forced smiling, works. Shoot, you'll enjoy this video more right now if you'll smile. Smile big enough that somebody might notice and may think you're a weirdo. Go ahead, I'll wait. Back to the science. Smiling, even forced smiling when you're not feeling it, releases chemicals in your brain. The two main chemicals released when you do are dopamine and serotonin. Dopamine is your natural happiness drug, and serotonin is your stress reducer drug. So with a single smile and a glance in the mirror, you can turn yourself into Matthew McConaughey.
All right. Oh, Christ.
Science is boring though, so let's put smiling into some digestible tweets. One study done in England proved that just a single smile can generate the same level of brain stimulation as up to 2,000 bars of chocolate. And the same study found that a smile is also as stimulating as receiving a stack of cash worth over $21,000. And like yawning, smiling is contagious. So when you give me a big old grin on the street, you're actually lining my pocket with cold hard cash and filling my belly with the world's finest chocolate. And not any of that weak Nestle stuff. And it's likely I'll either do it right back to you or be caught off guard just enough that I'll have to give one to the next guy. But let's wrap with this. Look, I need you to smile. And you need me to do the same for you. Everyone around you needs it. But even with knowledge and science and McConaughey, sometimes we just aren't feeling it, and I get that. It doesn't change the fact that you still need it. As Jimmy V.S., don't just schedule 1 hour a day to find happiness. Whether it takes forced smiling on your own or external motivations, do what you gotta do to lift your own and other spirits. Still in need of some ideas for external motivation? Well, get on an email list from sites like Inspire More to get daily smile inducers, or get involved with organizations like Smile Train, who provide smile surgeries worldwide for girls like Fernanda to fix cleft lips and palates and provide smiles to those in need. Maybe having a reminder just to the simple fact that you can easily smile each day might help motivate you and me. Until next time.
When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're